valuable was education in the 19th century? Was it easy for a native of the Torgai steppes to go to school 150 years ago? Why is the name of a person who taught children to read and write is popularly valued above the names of the richmen? All this in the new issue Welcome to Kazakhstan project. There is something that inextricably links the 19th and the 21st centuries. Both then and now, quality education is the road to life. But it was much more difficult to master this road in the 19th century, and all these processes fell on the shoulders of single heroes. We will learn more about the great Kazakh enlightener Ibrai Alton by visiting his mausoleum. This is Welcome to Kazakhstan project. My name is Zakirjan Mamlutov. Let's broaden our horizons. The great Kazakh teacher and enlightener Ibrai Alton was born in autumn of 1841 in the Torgai province of the Nikolai district of the Torgai region. The boy lost his father early. He had to grow up in the family of his grandfather, the respected B. Balgazha Jambarshaula. Any Kazakh schoolchild knows that the first versions of the Kazakh alphabet with Cyrillic graphics were made by Ibrai Alton. He also translated many literary works into the Kazakh language, for example, Krylov's fables, Lev Tolstoy's books.
Так случилось, что характерной чертой Ибрая Алтынсарина является
It happened so that characteristic feature of Ibrai Alton was that he chose the path of practice. Yes, there were dreamers prior to Ibrai Alton. Many smart genius men wanted to see their Kazakh people literate, but what Ibrai Alton implemented, none of them did. Only Ibrai Alton opened a school for the first time in the steppe, for the first time in the history of the Kazakh people, a new type of school. He managed to combine religious teachings with secular ones, but Alton-Sarin's main emphasis during that period was on such subjects as philosophy, literature, history, chemistry, biology, hydrology, if you like, and so on and so on.
На такие предметы, как философия, литература, история, химия, биология, гидрология, если хотите, и так далее, и так далее.
The great educator spent the last years of his life in the city of Kostanay. With the money he saved, he built a small estate on the shore of the lake, modestly and quietly met old age. Ibrai died in 1889 and was buried at the family cemetery, where all his ancestors were buried. This place is located a few kilometers from Kostanay, on the right bank of the Tabel River.
Вот здесь мы подошли к могиле великого человека.
Here we come to the grave of a great man who did a lot for the Kazakh people. First of all, he gave initial education with literacy, eliminated illiteracy, gave education. And of course, no doubt, those people, by the way, not only young men but also girls, received education. This was nonsense in the 19th century, but he was able to convince about the need for knowledge, teaching as a great educator democrat. Here he rests.
Это было нонсенсом в тот период в XIX веке, но он сумел убедить о необходимости знания, учения, как великий просветитель-демократ. Здесь он и покоится.
During the years of Soviet authorities, Ibrai was also not forgotten, honored as an enlightener and teacher. Therefore, in 1961, a memorial stone was installed at the place of his burial, timed to coincide with 120th anniversary of his birth. Ibrai's 150th anniversary occurred in 1991. That is, it coincided with Kazakhstan's independence. Mausoleum of Red Brick, designed by the architect Haji Murat Kuchikov, appeared around the stone. And in 2017, the mausoleum received a long-awaited reconstruction. The area of the mausoleum has grown to 68 square meters. The height is 15 meters. Red brick was replaced by Mangostau granite and shell limestone.
Конечно, куда же без главного символа школы?
And of course, the main symbol of the school, a bell, which gives a signal to the beginning and the end of lessons. The first steps of most significant figures in Kazakhstan began with the sounds of such a bell. Anyone can ring it while visiting the Mausoleum of the Great Enlightenment. Ibrai perfectly understood how important it was to teach the people to read and write, and said this: "We now have the most difficult, responsible time, where we still have to introduce these innovations into dark environment and illuminate everything, as far as we have the strength and skill. So I am dragging along the steps, begging for money from societies and various public organizations and regional provinces' authorities."
Но память о наследии великого...
But the memory of the great enlightener's heritage is not limited to the reconstruction of the mausoleum. To learn more about Ibrai's life, you need to visit the Alton Sauron Museum, which is directly located in Kostana itself. The museum was established in 1991 near the boarding school for gifted children. In 1884, Alton Sauron personally opened the doors of this educational institution. School is probably the main word in Ibrai's life. At the age of 9, being a member of a prosperous family, he was able to get into the first school for Kazakh children in Orenburg. It was not easy to get there. Such an education opened the way to life, helped to become a respected official. Even then, Ibrai realized that his duty was to spread the treasure of knowledge across the steppe.
Kel balalar okılık.
Kel balalar okılık. Go children, study. These are the most famous lines of Alton Sauron. It was in such classes in the 19th century where local boys and girls got the opportunity to study literacy and other sciences. The museum's funds contain more than 12,000 exhibits found in various archives of the cities of Kazakhstan and Russia. The documents related to Ibrai's life were found in Almaty, Omsk, Orenburg, and even St. Petersburg. More than 30,000 guests visit the museum buildings each year to take a look at the exhibitions of these documents and objects.
Жемчужина архивного фонда Кустанайского областного мемориального музея Alton Sauron является оригинал книги Alton Sauron «Шариатул Исламы».
The pearl of the archival fund of the Kostanay Regional Memorial Museum of Alton Sauron is the original of the book by Alton Sauron, Shariatul Islam, published in Kazan in 1884, written in the Kazakh language in Arabic script. Alton Sauron wrote the doctrine textbook in order to neutralize the cruel influence of fanatical mullahs who used Islam for their own selfish aims. And in his letter in 1864, dated March 16th, to his friend Ilminsky, Alton Sauron wrote, "Trying with all my might to contribute to their morality. Laugh at me. Sometimes, in my free time, I officially appear as a mullah to the children and tell them what I know from the spiritual history. I also add some other interesting, understandable stories."
Официально являюсь детям муллою и рассказываю, что я знаю из духовной истории, и также прибавляя к этому интересные, другие удобно понятные рассказы.
Speaking about the role of Ibrai in history, one cannot but recall the words of the first president of Kazakhstan, Елбасы Nursultan Nazarbayev. Alton Sauron is the first apostle of public education in Kazakhstan. Dozens, hundreds of lesser-known but no less brilliant spiritual teachers expressing the spirit of the Kazakh people and their personal destinies are waiting for the researchers who will convey to wide Kazakh strata the deeds of their ancestors to strengthen Kazakh identity.
Сколько трудов и ресурсов...
Ibrai spent much effort and resources on the work of his whole life, but he was able to shed a light of knowledge even to the most remote Kazakh villages. And the least we can do, grateful descendants, in memory of the great enlightener, is to visit his museum and memorial complex.